Have you ever sat down to enjoy a plate of seafood and suddenly wondered, wait a minute, is this actually halal? One of the most common questions that comes up, especially for Muslims who love seafood, is whether shrimp is halal in Islam. At first, it might sound like a simple yes or no answer, but when you look a little deeper, you'll see that it's actually a topic that has sparked debates among scholars for centuries. And that's where things get really interesting. Let's start with the basics. In Islam, what makes food halal or haram is guided by the Quran and the Hadith, as well as interpretations by scholars in different schools of thought. When it comes to seafood, the Quran clearly permits eating what comes from the sea. This is why many scholars, especially from the Shafi'i, Maliki, and Hanbali schools, agree that shrimp is absolutely halal. They believe that since shrimp lives in the sea, it's included in the category of lawful seafood, just like fish. For people following these schools, eating shrimp is as normal as eating salmon or tuna. But then, there's another perspective. The Hanafi school of thought is a bit stricter when it comes to seafood. According to their interpretation, only fish is considered clearly halal, while other sea creatures, like lobsters, crabs, and yes, even shrimp fall into a gray area. Some Hanafi scholars consider shrimp makruh, which means it's disliked or questionable, rather than outright haram. So for people who follow the school, whether they eat shrimp or avoid it often depends on personal choice and how strictly they want to follow the rulings. This difference of opinion is why you might see Muslims in one country enjoying shrimp without hesitation, while in another place, people avoid it altogether. For example, in Southeast Asia, shrimp is widely accepted as halal and even forms a big part of the local cuisine. But in parts of South Asia, especially among communities that follow the Hanafi school, you might find more hesitation. What's important to understand is that Islam gives room for these differences, and scholars have long acknowledged that not every ruling will look the same in every tradition. The key for Muslims is to follow the guidance of their local scholars, their school of thought, and their own conscience. So, is shrimp halal in Islam? For most Muslims around the world, yes, it is. For others, it's considered doubtful or better to avoid. At the end of the day, the answer isn't about the shrimp itself. It's about interpretation, tradition, and personal belief. And that's what makes this such a fascinating discussion.